All right, welcome back to the New Equity Network show, where we're trying to break the mold and get outside of the normal conventional conversations about investing or capital formation. I've got John Loren, IR consultant, Medican Enterprises, on the show with me today. All right, John, this segment, if I can, I'd like to look at it, your industry sector and your business, the merchant banking side of the medical marijuana industry, from the point where an investment bank or an investor would look at it. You've got profit margins involved, and then you've also got funding sizes for the various types of industries in your sector. Can we walk through that a little bit?
What you have to understand is that this is still a developing industry, and we're a developing company. So we've been, doing our due diligence on making proper acquisitions to add value for our shareholders. We've got two potential projects that we're still working on in Arizona. This morning we just announced another lease in California. That one will be a grow cultivation center and will produce revenues in the very near term. We've got probably 3 or 4 additional projects in the California market that we're looking at, cultivation centers as well as a potential dispensary in the Los Angeles area as well.
Okay.
So these will all add revenues to the bottom line over the next months.
These industries, and you can bring a voice of reason to this, because some people they have no idea what kind of profit margins are involved in this industry sector, and they also, being it is let's, as you say, a startup industry sector. Can you give us an idea what people are doing out there in the business about profit margins for? Because obviously people are investing in this stuff, hand over fist, but why are they flocking to it so heavily?
Well, I think everybody sees the potential of the profits that can be made from growing, and the profit margins are high, but it also depends on the quality of the product that you're producing. So quality control also comes into it, and you need the proper people growing and producing so that the plants are producing at the maximum capacity and producing good quality of end product.
Right. So profit margins, are we talking, because some people come into this, they're thinking this is a 10-to-1 industry, or it's really more of 30% per year margin. Are you seeing stuff all over the board, or are they starting to standardize what kind of return you can expect from whether it's growing, it's distribution, it's science, what have you?
I don't have actually numbers on that at the moment. It's all over the map, and I think, though, what you will see is, everything is supply and demand, and as there's more product produced, of course, the supply is going to be higher, so you could see, a fluctuation in price. So it's hard to put a real target on exactly what you're going to get at the present time.
Are there geographical regions where you're seeing more popularity with this sector?
I think, Colorado kicked it off, basically, so there was a lot of action in Colorado, and there's a lot of potential developments there. I think there's still, good potential in Colorado. Arizona is coming on stream. They seem to be well organized with the rules and regulations, and California, of course, is a very, very big market and developing relatively quickly as well.
Is there any difference between a Northern California industry or a Southern California industry as far as popularity, growth rate, things of that nature?
That I don't really know. I think it's relatively popular all over in California. There's a difference in, of course, growing in Northern California versus Southern California, in regards to sunlight, water, power, etc., which all makes a difference in your total cost of production.
Do you see various types of capital formation? Because that's the industry sector that you're in. You find these businesses and then you help them grow to the next level. And the exit strategies. What are you seeing there?
We're looking to build the company and develop it and get good revenues coming in and add value for our shareholders. So it's such a startup industry that there's so far to go that we just keep going and plugging until we acquire as many as we can handle.
Well, what I'm driving at is these companies. When you start getting a mature industry, then you have debt financing, and where they can actually issue bonds, and then you have exit strategies for an IPO or say an acquisition by. In this case, I would imagine it would be a major pharmaceutical company.
Right. That's a very good point because it's very difficult doing financing right now, which a lot of people don't understand. Because of marijuana not being federally legal, we're very limited as to how we can do financing. We also can't report profits from the actual sale of marijuana, so that's why we buy the properties and we lease them, and we do get a percentage of the gross sales from the leases. As it develops, that will definitely open up doors and make it much easier for us to raise financing from the way we have to go about it right now in the equity market, because it does dilute the stock, but it's the only way that we can raise financing because the banks cannot lend money for marijuana companies.
What about the insurance side of this thing? Because I ran across a company a while ago, and that was their whole goal, was to be able to insure this industry sector. Can you bring some light to that?
Do you mean insuring the crop, the growth of the marijuana?
That all of the things that you would normally buy insurance for a regular business.
Right. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm quite sure that you can get crop insurance on your product, so that if you plant your crop and you don't get it was a failure or whatever, depending on what happened, then at least the insurance would cover the cost of what it cost you to put the crop in.
I had a company on the show a while ago. They're called MedBox, and they were a dispensary box, and you walked up and put in your medical card and paid your money, and then. Well, I mean, shucks, somebody could drive up with a forklift and take that MedBox away, and you have to insure that.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the big concerns too with the people that operate the dispensaries, is by not being able to have conventional banking sources in a cash industry, that they leave themselves exposed to robberies and stuff like that. And of course, security is a big part of the whole thing. I mean, even if you have a grow operation, you have to have surveillance and 24-hour security, or else people are going to come in and rob your plants.
Why do you think that the United States is so far ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to using medical marijuana and also on the investment side of it?
I think it's just that people have been proactive in pushing forward with it, and recognizing the benefits of it to get it out there as an alternative. I mean, I think that if you look at it from a Christian or a religious side, that God created plants and on earth, and a lot of these do have healing effects, and some of them have gone by and not been recognized as the value of them.
All right. And we've got like a minute left. Do you see this industry, once it finally gets settled down a little bit, as being able to be a calming effect on the illegal drug trafficking of marijuana?
Definitely, and I mean, I look at it very much like the liquor industry years ago. I mean, when the prohibition, and but yet people were still manufacturing their own liquor out in the woods in their stills. Didn't know what you were putting into your body. And I think the same thing applies with the marijuana industry, that if it's a controlled environment, that at least if you're going to be using it for recreational purposes, you have some reassurance that it's produced by a viable company and it is quality controlled, rather than just buying something and smoking it or eating it or whatever.
Right. John, we've got to run. You've been a great guest in opening up this field for us. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much. It was great speaking with you. Have a good day.
My pleasure. You too. John Loren, IR consultant, Medican Enterprises, symbol on the stock, MDCN. You've been listening to Michael Yorba on the New Equity Network show, broadcasting on 1160 AM KVCE, DFW's Business Authority. Thank you for listening.